EOS pumps over 20% in anticipation of its mainnet, but is the pump organic? Lisk encounters a critical bug and must halt producing transactional blocks. Just months after raising $100 million in an ICO, the Kik founder declares blockchain unconvincing. Huobi launches a blockchain fund as well as an ETF open to retail investors. Tron's price falls off a cliff despite its mainnet release. According to this lawyer, smart contracts are only valid in kangaroo court. The IMF worries that crypto will supplant interest for central bank currencies. 1 in 3 wealthy individuals are interested in buying cryptocurrency. We've got all your headlines mixed with some daily market analysis. I'm Elio Trades, and your FUD TV Daily Update starts now. Welcome back, FUD Nation. Now, just diving here on CoinMarketCap, we can see that we're up. Bitcoin's up almost 3%, and it's Saturday. It's a
Bamp day.
Obviously, at the top of the pack, we have EOS coming in with over 20% gains. We're looking forward to them releasing their EOS 1.0 software within the next few minutes, it seems. It should be happening today. Today is the magic day. So we'll see what happens with the EOS mainnet release. Obviously, they're not going to be the ones hosting the blockchain. They're just putting the software out there on GitHub, and then other block producers are going to create the mainnet. Regardless, EOS is putting out their software and they're pumping 22%. The question is this an organic pump? Unfortunately, it looks like it's not the most organic pump coming out of EOS, and let's just take a look at why. The beauty of publicly visible ledgers is you can always track the money, especially when you know which accounts belong to which person. EOS apparently just sent $120 million worth of Ethereum, which is what it raised all of its ICO in, to Bitfinex yesterday. Then we have one day later in, this astronomical pump from EOS, getting it back up to, it was above the $15 mark. It looks like it's kind of settling down now. But regardless, we're seeing them move a ton of Ethereum out. And then lo and behold, wow, huge spike. And why? It's the mainnet release day. So obviously it looks good. So I'm not sure what to say about this. It looks like the EOS pump is not the most organic of all pumps. So I guess I would just say be a little careful because it seems like they're pumping their own coin. It doesn't seem like this is genuine crowd interest in EOS. Hopping over to some critical issues here. Apparently there was an attack on the Lisk network. So it's not quite clear what they're trying to say here. There was a malformed transaction or a bad block. It's not clear whether this was a malicious block. I'm not so clear on it, but what is clear here is that Lisk has chosen to pause what's going on their mainnet until they're able to resolve it. So it doesn't seem like there's any critical issues here. And if anything, I think this is good. It's always good to see when coins are sort of forced to go into crisis mode and see how they react, because crisis mode is guaranteed with cryptocurrencies that hold so much money, so much incentive for attack and for disruption. It's very much so part of the game that they're going to need to know how to respond to moments like this. So hopefully this proves that Lisk is actually really good when it's under pressure and that the team can respond and handle these kinds of incidents. That would be a very positive outcome, I believe, for this whole situation. And this man is Ted Livingston, the founder and creator of Kik, and he's also the one who is spearheading the Kik ICO. However, after raising $100 million just a couple of days ago, it feels like, he's now saying that blockchain is unconvincing. Livingston explains, unless you're trying to build one of the most used cryptocurrencies in the world, it's very low odds that blockchain is going to create value for you. He continued on, what does blockchain do at the end of the day? It allows you to have a database that's trustless, and it can be applied in a bunch of ways, but most of those ways you still need trust. We talk about this a lot internally on the FUD team, but I think a lot of founders and a lot of blockchain projects totally miss the mark on what blockchain should be used for. We have so many Bino projects, which are blockchain and name-only projects. They're not really blockchain projects. And I'm not saying that the Kik ICO was devoid of any useful blockchain features, but I'm saying if you really want the blockchain to be useful for you, then use it in a way that no other technology can provide you those benefits. I just think that this is a little bit of like, oh, it didn't go well for me, so it's useless. And it's just like a crybaby routine. So stop crying about it. Make good on what you said you would do for your investors and deliver the technology and the economy you promised. And if you're just going to take people's money and cry about it when it doesn't go well 2 months later, 2 months, then you're a fraud, sir. In extremely bullish news, we've got word that Huobi has just launched a blockchain fund in addition to a Bitcoin ETF, or a cryptocurrency ETF rather, that's going to be open to retail investors in addition to institutional investors. They're both big pieces of news, and we're going to look at both of them right now. Huobi has just launched a fund to support blockchain enterprises in China and South Korea. Obviously, in my opinion, the two hotbeds of cryptocurrency globally. They're paying it forward, allowing for these young projects to get up and running, to get the capital they need to grow into products that become adopted, that help the whole cryptocurrency market move forward. We couldn't be more bullish or excited about this, but it's obviously even better news that they launched an ETF, which I think is an incredible way to bring more investors into the space. So let's look at that right now. Announced on Friday, the Singapore-based exchange's new project called HB10 allows for investors, retail investors, to purchase shares in a basket of cryptocurrencies based on the firm's recently launched benchmarked index, the Huobi 10. This essentially is exactly what you want if you're an uneducated investor. You don't need to think, oh, I want this much of that and this much of this and this. You just invest in the index and then you get what, an expert has deemed to be a nice allocation of different cryptocurrencies that have nice upside. This is exactly what you want to have happen. ETFs can certainly cause a ton more retail interest to flood into the space. Hopefully we are in a world where ETFs here in America for cryptocurrency can be executed in the near future. I think that would really help get us back on the path towards full market health and reaching new all-time highs. And the Tron price has plummeted despite its successful mainnet release. But was the Tron mainnet release truly successful? Tron has lost 20% of its market value in just the last few days, and it's been pretty abysmal. Obviously, there's always a buy the rumor, sell the news. There's usually a big sell-off after a big event happens, and that's normal. However, with Tron, we were expecting personally a lot more with this mainnet release. Justin Sun is pretty much the king of big statements on Twitter, and one of those statements that he said repeatedly was that the mainnet would be launched with 100 million users. And he's now saying that this isn't the mainnet launch, this is the beta launch of the mainnet. To me, it's just like it's always a slip and slide with Justin Sun's wording. And so I'm getting very frustrated personally with the way that this tech has been rolled out. And I think that that's being reflected here in the price, is that people are sick of saying, oh yeah, we're supposed to have all these dApps and 100 million users, and it launches, there's no dApps and there's no users. And so I think that Tron has just a lot of room to grow. Hopefully this next deadline of their Independence Day on June 25th will come with some development, something that will actually make Tron a useful platform. Where's Gifto? Where's Baofeng? Where's Uplive? Where's Obike? I want to see those partners, and I want to know when they're going to be on Tron. And when we know that Tron is actually going to be being used that way, it's going to be an amazing thing for the environment. And just like we heard from Xi Jinping, blockchain is a revolution. China's now pushing to fully legalize cryptocurrency in the press and other powers that be. So there are a lot of positive fundamental signs for Tron, but I think one of the biggest issues here is the misrepresentation of milestones by Justin Sun in particular, saying, oh, it's going to be this, and oh, well, yeah, this happens, but really it's going to be that over there. And when we get there over there, it's like, oh yeah, it's over there where we're going. And I just feel like I've been a little frustrated personally, and I wouldn't be surprised if other investors feel the same way of, wait, this isn't the mainnet release that we were expecting. Hopefully in the near term future, we can see some onboarding of these dApps and these projects that are actually going to bring that value, that usage to the TRX platform. I'm certainly excited for that. I'm not worried about whether that's going to happen. I'm just a little frustrated that the planning and the transparency around when it's going to happen hasn't been as clear as I believe it should be. And this NYU professor, Nouriel Roubini, believes that smart contracts are only upholdable in kangaroo court, essentially saying that they have no legal backing. Now, I truly agree with this, and I've spoke on this in many different contexts. We need a system here to imbue smart contracts with legal authority. Right now, they're being recognized in some forms, but there needs to be more of a structure here. And one of those structures I think that's going to be critical are trust-building mechanisms like ontology, ID verification systems like the key and Civic, other ways that we can ensure that the people who are agreeing are the people who they claim to be, as well as that they have whatever legal needs, notaries or whatever that they need to make these agreements legally binding. There needs to be a bit more infrastructure here. It can't just be a smart contract that two people click into. It needs to be, okay, we clicked in, we verified our identity, we're in a trust building, we have this whole infrastructure here where we can actually say this person is legally committing to something. And I think that we're still building the walls of that castle to make it so that it works. I think that this NYU professor is probably quite right that if a smart contract represents something that someone's not interested in upholding, they probably won't actually be legally forced to do it at this point. If smart contracts want to be what we hope they'll be in the future, then we need to keep developing this infrastructure. And the IMF believes that cryptocurrencies will take away demand for central bank issued currencies. We don't even need to read the article. That's 100% true. That's the whole point. And 1 in 3 wealthy individuals want to invest in cryptocurrency. So despite the price fluctuations, the amount of people and interest in cryptocurrency has gradually grown. And that's what's so interesting about this bear market is despite the price fluctuations, the actual interest and understanding of what cryptocurrency is and what blockchain is has really flourished. And so I believe that the next bull run, as soon as Bitcoin starts hitting new highs again, we're going to see total mania kick in. All of these wealthy individuals are going to kick their money in as soon as they feel like it's a sound investment. 100% they're going to be buyers. And this is going to set off one of the craziest, most maniacal rises in Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency market valuations that we've ever seen. I think it's totally going to eclipse and overshadow the last few bull runs. And it's going to make anyone who's actually in the space right now incredibly satisfied with their investments. And it's because of this nascent interest that they just need that logical push into the market. And until Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies start showing some price stability and start showing that bullish trend that we saw throughout 16 and 17, we're not going to quite get that logical push. But we are on the brink of bringing in so much new institutional and retail interest into this space. So I believe we're close. It's just a matter of understanding what the trigger is going to be. And in my humble opinion, it's Bitcoin above 20K. That's going to cause the flood, but we're going to have little benchmarks along the way. And I think one of the other benchmarks is Bitcoin above 12K. That's a critical resistance that I believe is going to set a lot of people off into thinking, okay, we're back into bull mode. And yeah, sure, it's Saturday. Sure, it's pumping, but we can still do memes, right? Yeah, let's do some memes. Oh, let me hide myself here. All right. This one is unfortunately too true. It just feels like everyone's just so excited, and we're all excited, but one green candle is just a green candle. It follows red candles a lot of the time. Sometimes they happen right between red candles, a lot of the time lately. How much do you wish you could chill for an hour and see what crypto would be worth in 7 years? If any of you know where this is, please hit me in the DM. Yes. Buzz, you're a shitcoin. You can't fly? No, I'm not a shitcoin, Woody. He was a shitcoin. It's Saturday and we got some green numbers, so it's never a bad thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this content and I hope you guys enjoy your weekends. Obviously, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're made aware whenever we put out new content. I'm Elio Trades, you're watching FUD TV, and I'll catch you very soon on the next episode.